Alright guys, welcome back to Ghjak on the mic. And today we have another curator from the Pull and Ball Amino, Pull and Ball Mapping Amino. My bad. Yeah, we already messed up, guys. That's the kind of vibe we're gonna go with. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Alright then. So today we have Sealand. That's two already. I'm glad that the community is already like keeping track of how many it is what it is are being said. Because, I can't be bothered to count because I can't count. I forgot how to. That's going to be a problem actually when I go to uni, but we'll deal with it when it is a problem. Okay, anyways, that's besides the point. Today we have Chinese Sealand in Amino, or Sealand in general. So how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. That's good to hear. Alright then. So, as I've already mentioned, Sealand is a curator on the Pull and Ball Amino and a good colleague of our good friend of the show, Jan Kelp. And it seems that, while we were preparing this podcast, you said you wanted to make some corrections regarding the drama with Swiss, a user in the Pull and Ball Mapping Amino. So go ahead, make the amendments.
So, I don't blame Jan Kelp for being wrong because he wasn't involved in the drama at all, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was mainly involved in the drama because I'm usually the one who argues with Swiss all the time.
I see. So,
what I remember, I just logged on to the chat one day and I just said, "What's going on?" And somebody basically just went, "Scroll up and see what Swiss said." I saw that, and it was still going off, so I argued with him for a while. And, because Tring, an ex-curator, and actually I think a curator on MPBA, I don't remember, he made a post where it was a drawing of him burning a US flag, just to make him mad. And so, I did the same thing, and then it really started, because that was just like a little footnote what Tring did. But what I did, I don't know why, it was my post that sparked it, but my post sparked off the whole drama.
Oh. So you were the spark to the flame.
Yeah, because he just went to town in the comments and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I know why he's so nationalistic and racist. And because he said it a lot before. He has mental illnesses, which just because he has serious anger issues.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he's a fat white kid. He admits it, so it's fine for me to say this. He's a fat white kid.
Uh-huh.
And he gets bullied a lot.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because he gets bullied by, minorities, he has a strong resentment towards them in his developing stages.
Mm-hmm.
Especially his moody stages.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because of that, he basically started the whole thing. I just made the post, and because of his raging comments, basically the whole Amino was making fun of him.
Oh,
which
no.
was hilarious and also deserved.
Uh-huh.
But Fife, I'm actually going to say it correct this time,
yeah,
was having none of it.
Yeah.
Which was sad, but whatever, trying to be professional.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he made everyone just quit the shit. Because he wouldn't have cared either way, because he was fine with him just getting made fun of because it's Swiss. But, he got, PM'd by the leader, by the agent of PCA, Pull and Ball Communications Amino.
Oh.
Communications he's really
Amino?
active there. Yeah.
Oh,
he was really active there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what?
Okay, I got it.
He was really active there, and they were also clowning on him because it spread over there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just kind of spreading. And then Fife cracked down on it hard.
Uh-huh.
He was thinking of demoting me.
Oh.
I honestly don't know why, because Tring did the same thing while he was curator, and I did not mean for that to blow up. I was just trying to make fun of him because Tring did the same thing. I thought it was funny.
Fair enough.
But whatever.
But
so I just got warned
Yeah.
UKSN got demoted for, I'd say a stupid reason, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to be demoted for a while.
Oh.
Because he wasn't showing professionalism. Because he was searching for Swiss quotes to make fun of him in, like, main chat. Which I think is definitely not a demotable offense for just getting in on the fun. And that's being unprofessional, but whatever.
Alright. That's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, he says a lot of racist and nationalistic shit.
Mm-hmm. I see. But then, as you had mentioned earlier, he has a mental health issue or like a mental disease in which like he cannot control his anger and he can go off, right? So is it really valid to make fun of somebody who suffers
It's
from
not making
such
fun
things?
of his... It's not really making fun of his mental issues. It's more so making fun of his political statements.
But then what I was meant to say, right? Maybe I didn't phrase myself correctly. I'm just curious, you know, because since you were
just
the
in
one.
general, making fun of the guy who has a mental illness.
No, not that actually. I mean, like, the thing is that justification for, I guess, taking a piss out of him is valid, you know? For his views that not everybody agrees with, and you know what? Because we all believe in freedom of speech, we're allowed to say whatever the heck we want, but as long as we're willing to suffer the consequences of it, you know? And I guess Swiss's consequence was, you know, getting shitted on by everybody, basically.
And also about the thing Jan Kelp said about the political posting.
Yeah.
So he was wrong about that. He's just banned from doing political posts because those type of posts cause drama.
I see.
AKA people making fun of him. So people are allowed to make political posts. It's just, he's not. So as long as it doesn't spark drama, then it's fine.
Okay, I see. So, this is a massive change from back in the day when I was a leader in Amino. I sound like an old man saying this, but we'll get to that later, actually. But I just wanna actually understand something from you. Since you were at the frontier, you were at the battleground of this, incident. Essentially, what I was wondering is that, yes, it is fine to make fun of him for his views, but with the knowledge that his views are derived from his personal experiences, which are generally negative, and that he also has a mental illness condition which actually promotes such kind of thinking, is it valid to make fun of it? Because that could just aggravate the problem for him personally more. Considering that he was bullied in real life, the Amino might be an outlet for him to, I guess, you know, be himself in a sense. Do you think, with that knowledge...
It's a hard topic to think about, because it's not like a major mental illness. It's a mental illness where it just makes him lash out. He can't really control his anger.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, yes, it's not as serious as other things, but, you know, he's essentially out of control. That's what it...
Because before, he actually was doing a good job at maintaining himself. Me and Swiss have a very mixed relationship. Because a lot of the time, we argue, we spat, but at the end of the day, we're just neutral. Because I'm pretty sure I went into DM with him and, like, kind of, I think I kind of apologized and, like, said, yeah, we're kind of both in the wrong, I guess, whatever.
I see. Very neutral relationship. I see. So, I see. Well, how long have you been in the mapping pull and ball amino, just for everybody's reference?
I think for around 3 years.
3 years. Yep, that's nearly as long as me.
And I have to think, I'm pretty sure I've been here longer than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all thanks to UKSN. Because I was actually friends with him. Because there was these old aminos that aren't around anymore because the organizers have just given up on reviving them.
Yeah, I remember some of them.
It was basically these like war roleplay aminos that were really fun. And I met him there, and we just became friends.
I see. I'm just trying to find my first post because that's when I joined. Uploaded my first mapping video there, which is very popular. I think it has like around 5,000 views, that episode 1. So, it's kind of like, I'm no longer continuing that series because I've given up on that. Yeah, I joined in the 10th of December, 2017. So yeah, you probably are older than me, an older member on the community. But I guess I got more involved with the politics indirectly or without intending to. Like, yeah. I mean, it is like back in the day, I guess when Fife wasn't like a major force to be reckoned with, I think you would agree with me that it was a lot more chaotic, but it was a chaos that made the Amino, if that made sense.
Yeah, it made it fun.
Yeah, it made it fun.
Interesting.
It gave it its identity in my sense. Because I remember back in the day when I launched the crusade and everybody joined with me, and back in the day when me and Italian would be colonizing other aminos and having a civil war because people disagreed with colonization and imperialism. But guess who won? The imperialist. Then we had a second civil war, in which it was that, but, with more people. And then I think I somehow disappeared, and that's when I think I was missing from the history records, if that makes sense. Oh, God.
Honestly, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure you're like the most respected member in the community.
Really?
There's not really any causer of drama, and you like make good content.
Yeah, I think I don't do anybody harm. I just vibe, I reckon. So wait. I mean, this is actually a curious question because I really do not know what other people's opinion of me are. You know what I mean? At least in the Amino, because it's been a while. If that makes sense. Yeah. So I think, would you consider me? I'd say
everyone basically likes you.
That's good. That's very reassuring for me.
Just make good content and you're neutral about stuff.
Yeah. Or I think I'm more focused on like conflict de-escalation until the point where it's unavoidable. That's when civil wars happen. But that kind of stuff. But I think, I remember Fife being like an avid anti-drama person. He just didn't like the chaos. He wanted Amino to be professional. And I guess in the end he got it his way because the way how he cracked down on the entire situation with Swiss, in my opinion, is very reflective of his agenda, in my opinion. Like, I have nothing against him. I know this guy for a while. I mean, ever since I joined Amino. You know what I mean? And he's been a supporter of my channel, at least my mapping content. I'm not sure what his opinion of my recent content, like the podcast, is. But if he's watching it, I hope you're enjoying it, Fife. And stuff like that. Because I think, me and him have been having like a falling out. Because I was more for like more freedom to the people and make it as chaotic as possible so it's fun. Compared to his more professionalism and like discipline. Kind of like a totalitarian state, but then to be fair, most social medias are like a totalitarian state to begin with, and at best, a monarchy. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's been a long journey to democracy for them, I remember back in the day when Italian was, agent, me and him had like, we weren't on good terms, and how the tables have turned, and we are best of friends, and that kind of stuff. So I remember like how he was like explaining that democracy will not work out, and how eventually, at least by the time I left, right, there was some semblance of a democratic election, a way how things go. But it seems that things have fallen apart. I mean, I still see like the occasional poll where me for curator. Me for blah blah blah, Yeah, but I think the whole fun of the Amino, in my opinion, died when the Amino stopped being a country. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, any words on that? Any thoughts?
Honestly, not much really.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I respect Fife's discipline. And running it like a social media. But me personally, I think it's just not much of a benefit.
I mean, in the end, it's not a massive, like, a million or, 500,000 or even a quarter of a million.
How I'd like it while we're still small and not known.
Yeah.
Let's just have fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
When we're bigger,
yeah,
and when we're bigger and ready, and we need more people just to stay and not be harassed.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
But just, come on.
I'm not gonna lie. In my honest opinion, right? I reckon only in terms of active users. In my guess, I think around 30 people are actually active or invested in the Amino. If that makes sense. And actually there's a very easy way to figure any of this out, right? There's something called the square root law, in which the square root of any number will give the actual amount of people doing the work. So for example, if you're in a group of 100, if you're in a company of 100 people, right? Only 10 people would be actually doing most of the work, 80% of the work, if that makes sense. Right? And then the rest 20% comes from everybody else doing their part. And this can apply to anything in life. So, for example, in a family of 4, right? Only 2 people would be actually taking care of the family, if that makes sense, the mother or the father, right?
Yeah.
Or at least until a point, you know what I mean? Until the children at least reach 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I got the number of 30 by just rounding the amount of members we have, which is going to be 1,000, in the near future. Square root that, we get 30. So I mean, it's a very interesting, law because.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you think about it even harder, square root of 30, only 5 people are actually running the entire show. That means they're the most active people on the Amino. Who they are, we're not sure. 5 or 6 people, I reckon. But I'm pretty sure, I mean, I was one of them, but I'm no longer one of them because I'm just now very passive, just so that I can maintain my existence on the platform. Because dying for a year really does make people think you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, since I've not been there for a while, what else has changed other than, I guess, the professionalism brought by 5?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was talking to my grandpa.
Oh, no problem. Hi, Sealand's grandpa.
I still heard what you said.
Uh-huh. Alright. Okay.
Yeah, continue on.
No, I asked you a question.
Oh.
Yeah. It's okay, man. What I was asking was that anything else has changed in the Amino other than the fact that 5's professionalism has become the status quo?
In general, less active, but I'm pretty sure that's just a cause of a lot of the OGs being just dying out because they're kind of the figureheads.
Yeah. The oligarchs.
But, and also, I think it's also partly because of me, because, I was actually, because we talked about this before in, the bloopers, I was actually, the main driving force for the advertisements.
Oh, yeah, you were. Uh-huh.
That's how we got from, 500 to, 980.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I mean, that's a very, very significant effort on your part, I have to admit. And yeah, and before we continue, I think, Sealand accidentally broke the 4th wall, but, I might as well announce it now. So you see, guys, we attempted to record another episode, but let's just say everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong, So, maybe a good, I don't know, maybe a good, few minutes is salvageable, and it just doesn't make sense even if I make it into one video full of bloopers. So, guys, 5 likes, at the request of, I asked the like goal by the person, so Sealand said 5 likes, so 5 likes to see the bloopers, alright? To see the bloopers, the multiple bloopers that will come out in intervals, because there's so much that it's going to take me a while, It's going So yeah. So this for some context for you guys. If you're interested in seeing all the things that could possibly go wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's like an hour's worth of bloopers.
Yeah. An hour's worth of bloopers and me also doing stupid stuff while you just somehow went, on random poop attacks. Yeah, guys. If you watch streamers, you would know that things like poop attacks are like number one source of death of any streams. Luckily, this is not a stream, just a pre-recording. But imagine if it was a stream. That would be a bro moment. Not gonna lie. Anyways, so yeah. So guys, if you're interested for the bloopers, please like the video. It's required. I'm not gonna send it anytime before that. Alright? And subscribe if you want to not miss it. Hit the notification button, guys. Don't forget, it's very important stuff. So yeah. So other than that, oh yeah, Sealand, you did tell me that your account, your original account. Yes, I know you do. You're a good viewer of the channel.
Yeah.
I respect your support.
Yes.
Absolute legend, I bet you're the guy who watches the video all the way to the end. So, I respect you. The watch time matters. Yeah, thank you very much. So, dude, you told me once, I guess, while in our first attempt of recording the video, that your original account on Amino got banned.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, I'm pretty sure, anyone who's going to watch this is probably, like, some of the OGs or, like, staff team.
Yeah.
Going to remember all the country human drama about CH Germany making a ragtag team to basically ban as many people as they can by mass flagging and any, like, Poland ball-related Amino.
Yeah.
And one of them was ours.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I remember the war. Yeah.
And basically, those guys... So CH Germany died out a while ago, but his team were dedicated to banning as many people as they could because right after our advertisements, we were losing 2 people every day, but we were able to even that out with our member growth.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And eventually, and right when I got creator, in October 2019... You got
struck
from mass flagging.
Oh, God, that sucks. Dude, that's like the worst.
I think it was on the 11th of October.
Yeah, and that was a massive personal loss for you, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My first ever account.
Your first ever account, all the history, gone. That's why, guys, you cannot find original Sealand account. Because of the country human bandits. Those fuckers. Anyways, that's a sad story. Like, I do remember the war of the country humans, or at least the defense of the terrorist attacks by German CH, right? And I remember, like, I was one of the negotiating teams with, like, in diplomatic talks with the owner of the CH Amino, Country Humans Amino, and she was like telling us to stop because in retaliation for the deaths of our people, we decided that it was time that we took justice into our own hands. And then we started to raid, I guess you can say, the other CH country Bolivianos. And the thing was that I was also on a covert mission, which is something that many people do not know about, but I shall get into that after I say this. So, you see, as a diplomat, it came to realize the sheer significant power of our Amino back at its prime, which I reckon was around 500 members, which when I think was our prime, because that's when most of the OGs were alive and active. So we had like such a, I can say, offensive power to like cause absolute anarchy in Aminos, which were greater. That had way more greater numbers than ours, like maybe half a million, quarter of a million, quarter of a million. Well, that's 1/8. That's 1/16 of a million. We're not doing math here, guys. Don't worry. All right, you're not doing math. I know you're not. You don't come to this podcast to do math, but whatever. Fractions are easy to transmit information than decimals and whatever. Anyways, that's besides the point. So I guess it just really shows like the power of our Amino, in a sense. Back in the day, but I don't think we have that same power output anymore. I do remember, I don't think, I forgot what my role was, but whoever the leader, the agent was at the time, said to stop the raiding because it doesn't make us look good. In a sense, although we had full justification to go to war. But it is that. Now to tell you about the story that nobody knew, the covert mission. I found German CH and I talked to him.
What?
Yeah. So you see, I infiltrated the Country Ball human community by making the Kingdom of Jerusalem Country Ball. I know I've sinned, but this was for the greater good. Okay? So, I went in, I integrated into their community, and I saw there were a bunch of, I guess you can say, mentally fragile people. You know? They're honestly really good, but I don't think they could take the standard insult from the great country of the United Kingdom, you know? That's like the top tier banter comes from, or for Australia for that matter. For some reason, it seems to me that Americans are a bit more sensitive than the rest of the world. I do not know how, but it seems to be the case, generally from my experience, and definitely amongst the country humans community, alright? Now, I tracked down German CH, and I asked, I heard of your crusade, and I wish to join on this holy war. What do I need to do? The moment, in order to learn of his tactics so that we at the pull and ball mapping, mapping pull and ball amino could reverse engineer and counter such tactics, if that makes sense, you know? And unfortunately, or fortunately, he got banned then. So I never got to get the information in the end. So, you know, death still continued. But it seems...
I'm pretty sure I know his tactics.
Well, I know, but it was, you know, better to be safe than sorry. And also, it was like, I felt like I was doing some really cool shit, to be fair with you guys.
Yeah, it is, because no one knew it at the time.
Yeah, dude, I found him. I found him on some random one. Like, you know,
Yeah.
You can call it the equivalent, Country Ball human equivalent of our Amino, right? At the time. So, dude, it was like, those were the days. Those were the days I would gladly remember and tell my grandkids about. I will tell them. Dude, I had so many wacky adventures on the internet. Like, do you remember Han?
Yeah. Oh, I miss him so fucking
Dude,
much.
he died, okay? So, I mean, in the sense that he has left the internet for good to become a film director. He told me once you have kids and I'll make them watch my movie. I said, I will Han. The thing was, he was a drug dealer before. So I kind of eventually convinced him to go to university and make a living for himself, which he did. I guess he was in the process of doing it anyway, because then he became like an architect engineer, and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just people like him who, you know, was really like a father figure to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he is an absolute alpha male. Dude, he was absolute, like, I miss him.
Han's such a cool fucking guy.
He really replicated the spirit and embodiment of Han Solo.
It makes me so sad. Because it's like, so because of Han, I have like a grudge against Fife now. Because of what he did to Han. Because when he became agent, Han was basically making fun of Flemish.
Yeah.
And he got banned for that.
Damn.
Because it was quote-unquote harassment, even though that happens all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is totalitarianism in its finest. I know Fife is not going to like this if he watches this episode, but listen up, man. I'm going to speak my mind out. All right? The thing is, it is genuinely sad. Like, when I see the Amino, I don't feel like being in there because it was not, it's like as I am, as we talked in the blooper episodes. I'm not sure even if it comes up, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm essentially an internet nomad in the sense that I go from one community to the other, right? At somewhat of a frequent intervals. Yeah. So like, I left it at its prime and I'm coming back at its decline. It looks like that to me, or essentially it was not what it was before. And, I have to accept it, you know. Things change, times change, you know. And I have to accept it. Like, and when I have contact with many of the OGs, and they have changed as well.
Getting back into the ads though.
Yeah, I think it would be required to do, you know, advertisements and stuff like that. You seem to be like a marketing genius with the way how you do things.
I am definitely, like, I can recognize myself. I'm actually a really fucking good salesman.
Good, cool. Because I might hire you. for this dying
I
channel.
would not mind.
Yeah. You're like, dude, why don't you tell us how you advertise for those aspiring salesmen, kind of like myself? Because yeah. To be fair,
it's more so.
No, I was going to.
It's more so. When you're talking about your product or service, you like pump it up with its like with its positive things. You pump it up as much as you can, and then you recognize your opponent's positives, but try and deflate them as lesser. And like be humble, and like, yeah, we know they have this that's better than ours, but we have this and we provide like a better experience and so and so.
So essentially being honest, but then packaging it in really nicely.
Being honest and being like very concentrated on being humble and pumping up your positives of your product.
Right. That makes sense. And I mean, I think this is a really good strategy because, you know, you're responsible for a massive, like nearly doubling the size of the Amino, to be fair. So, you know, it really does work. And,
when I was, like in the early days of the Amino, I always dreamed of like being something, like in the Amino, because that was the only place I had a chance of being anything like staff-wise.
Yeah.
Like, I always dreamed of like being something like important or having like some sort of impact. And there it was. I have it now.
You have
I still got it because I'm a creator.
Yeah, even I wish that. But to be fair, I'm not honestly sure what is my impact on the Amino. You know what I mean?
I'd say your more so impact is I guess you could say a historian because you're making these podcast episodes.
Yeah.
And like since you're not focused on the Amino in general because it's just random people. You can basically have people just go in your channel and find these old videos if they want to find more content, and then they learn about where we came from.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm considering asking the original agent, the creator of this Amino, to come on the podcast. But you know, I'm not sure if he would like to. I mean, we know who he is. He's Italian. He's an Italian, but his old name is also Italian. So not sure if he has the time or is willing to do so, but I hope so. He'll be able to because we'll kind of get the origin story. You know what? I learned like how to like grow my channel. I need to have a more clickbaity title. So it's like like what'd you say? Sealand spills tea. Also, and then
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I kind of clickbaity title. But it's more so the truth.
It is the truth. You do spill tea. Essentially.
It's basically being dramatic with it.
Yeah. Amino tea spilt. History of the Amino also. Guy spills Amino tea. And also talks about the history. Oh wait. Guy who spills tea but is also a marketing genius. You are. That's the title. Okay. Something along the lines, you know, of you talking about drama and of you giving sales tips. Because in my opinion, sales is like one of the most important businesses or like professions in the current landscape. You know, especially with our market-driven economy and globalization. You know, making a product really distinct is very big and important, you know, for success and stuff like that. Like, I intend to just gain the skills, if not necessarily pursue a career in that field. Are you considering to pursue a career in sales or, you know, marketing, stuff like that?
I honestly don't know. I'm still young. I'm still dumb, and I'm still learning.
Yeah,
like,
same.
I am only 13, so I still don't really know.
You don't sound 13.
I'm thinking the most probable is like a computer business. Like, because I am a fucking huge computer nerd. So like phone repair, computer like making, refurbishing, shit like that.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing called SEO, search engine optimization, which is basically people pay you to use a service that gets people's like businesses or websites to the top results of like a search page. Say this town like local town Philadelphia gym, and if somebody hires a person to do SEO for them, and they can get their business to the top of the results and get more customers.
Mm-hmm. I see. That's really cool. Yeah, because I was watching like, because you see, I'm going to go to university pretty soon. In 5 days time, I have to pick out my courses, right?
Yeah.
And essentially, yours truly still does not know what he wants to do, and still does not know whether what he's picking is a good idea. You know what I mean? So, I was doing a lot of research, and I was looking into, like, what you call it, digital marketing, whatever that is. But essentially, that's you just looking at data and optimizing the ads so that, it gets more screen time, if that makes sense. Guys responsible. And I saw, like certain people, like, one-man business earning, like, $7.5 million because companies just pay them like X amount of money per month in the thousands so that their ads are shown. And, it's pretty cool, actually. Like, we live in a day and age full of opportunities. Like, we can just work from our laptops even, and all's good. And the thing is, you can start at any age as long as it's legal, or essentially when you can have your own bank account. Because imagine you doing all that, but you're using your parents' bank account. You can't really even buy what you want. Even if
the minimum legal age of like working in my state, in my home state, is 14. So next year, and I'm all good to do what I want.
I see. That's really cool. I mean, the thing is, I don't have a bank account because here you need to have in my current place of residence, guys, not where I'm from, residence, which is Dubai. You need to have a job to have a bank account. And guess what is not there for kids who do not have a job or who are not even allowed to have a job? No bank account. So I can't do that. Like, that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm thinking of setting up a PayPal so that if I do get a chance to monetize some of my content on other platforms, it needs to go somewhere. And maybe just change the bank account details or link it to somebody's credit card or whatnot. Like, I don't know, it's like very complicated.
I do technically have a card, but it's basically just an ATM card where if somebody transfers money to your account, you can just withdraw it from an ATM.
Yeah. Makes sense, actually.
But I'm pretty sure next year I'm going to have to get a debit card, but I'm just going to set up a PayPal.
Yeah, I mean, PayPal is quite convenient, especially for online purchases. It's quite convenient. So, yeah, you would rather use a PayPal than a debit card. We can buy things on Amazon with PayPal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
You can basically use PayPal for anything.
I see. I mean, it's very cool. Did you know that Elon Musk made PayPal?
Yeah.
Cool. Like, I was gonna I thought, okay, let's pull out some, like, cool facts. You know what? Let's try this. This may be a new I'm planning to, like, make a poll or actually ask in the comments down below, suggest new segments, because my 3 standard segments which we tried to do, which failed miserably, and I realized that with other people it's not that great. I mean, it was like I improvised it on the spot, so that's why the quality of the segment is kind of bad. So, you know what? Maybe we should try this experiment. You know what? Let's try to create a segment on the spot. I think if you just say random obscure facts, that could be one. Like, asking a question like, okay, what country has the longest border with France? Do you know? Yes? Don't look at a map.
Should be Spain?
Actually, no. It's Brazil. Yeah. Dude, my experiment worked. Dude, I've been doing like this random experiments where I ask Americans and non-Americans this question. For some reason, I do not know why, honestly, right? Even those who are non-Americans get the answer right on the first go. But those who are Americans get it wrong at the first go.
I'm actually a huge fucking geography nerd.
Ah, I see. Well, I mean, you do not need to know, like, I mean, it's like that, there's like useful
Not
geography.
one knowing about French Guiana that exists.
Yeah. Dude, it's kind of like useful geography and geography that you use to be a dickhead. And I clearly did the latter. I do apologize. But, yeah, I mean, what does one expect? You know? It's just a meme online that Americans do not know geography. Or if they do know geography, they know it about their own country mostly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Well, it's more so
Mhm.
because it's more so that because you gotta look. It's not like an actual like real life it's not like a stereotype that actually is correct. Technically, it is, but that's just because there's fucking over 200 million Americans in the world,
Yeah.
and we're the biggest country in the world that has access to internet, but that's not a totalitarian dictatorship, aka China.
Yeah. That's true.
So we can basically express everything, and since there's so many of us, people tend to focus on the louder people to basically make stereotypes.
Yeah. I think that's the case with everybody. Like, more memorable pictures.
That's basically the whole thing with like people hating American politics, because the loud people are the people who they are also fucking neo-Nazis.
But also communists on the other side, to be fair. I mean, like, both fascism and communism are bad. We just saw what happened on both sides. Like, you're fucked if you're in either way. Like, China is a communist, technocratic, totalitarian state. And if communism can lead to that, then, you know, it's a massive bruh moment, you know? That kind of stuff. I mean, the thing is that it is what it is, and we can't do much other than the fact that we stick to what we know is good, which is at least democracy in the way that is followed in Western Europe and the United States. And in that regard, I think the USA is one of the greatest countries in the world because you still have your personal freedoms, and yet at the same time, high living standards, rival to those totalitarian states. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I mean, as a non-American, I can say that I would have no doubts to say that yes, the United States has its flaws. Yes, it can be stupid sometimes, but boy, it is way better than what we have anywhere else. You know?
Yeah.
So it's pretty, and I reckon that's like, you know, a pretty cool thing. You know? Yeah. So you know, that's that actually. It got quite philosophical, but hey, welcome to Ghjak on the mic.
Back to Amino stuff, because I've been waiting to talk about this for like I've been waiting to talk about this for a bit.
Alright, sure, go ahead.
Our conversation kept going on, so I didn't want to interrupt.
No problem.
It's more so like my personal Amino experiences, and so this is gonna sound like more so shocker to you.
Alright.
But I see myself more when it comes to being an MPBA, a refugee from Poland Ball Meme Town. Do you know?
Oh yeah, dude, I remember the tragedy. I remember the tragedy.
Yeah.
Dude, that was our refugee crisis, but at least our refugees weren't dickheads, unlike the ones in Europe. So yeah, unpopular opinions, am I right? Nah, it's okay. I know kids in my university who hate me. I posted a meme about communism, what college thinks communism is, versus what it actually was. So yeah, and like a good. I mean, I'm glad that I have a few people who understand my point of view, or at least open-minded to alternative opinions. He just warned me that, dude, I think everyone's gonna kill you, man. It's like, good thing I'm doing the fall semester online, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyways, that's besides the point. Where was I? Yeah, you were saying, yeah, you're a refugee of Poland Meme Town. Do you know any reason why it collapsed in the first place?
I know why. I know exactly why. It's because like the current agent, he like left because he was like going to university or something, or just didn't want to be Asian. So he passed it on to Benin, which is one of his good friends in the staff team.
Yeah.
And Benin decided to be a huge troll and kill the Amino by disabling all the chats. Well, basically hiding the chats so only the people that were already in the chats could chat in the chats. And basically, whoever wasn't in a chat, specifically the main one, which was the only active one, was fucked and just couldn't do anything.
Damn.
So he basically killed the whole Amino.
Is that how it died?
It's still alive, surprisingly. Not very much, but it's not completely a wasteland, but I'm not
It's
there.
heavily depopulated.
I'm on there, but I don't talk at all.
Kind of like me
I
and
haven't, I haven't joined there
Yeah.
since my original account got banned. Because I just did not care about it anymore.
Yeah. And also
So
your
the
legacy
big
is wiped out
the big
because
thing
you're
about I'm just gonna talk about Meme Town basically. The big thing about Meme Town was just the roleplay.
Yeah.
That was the whole gimmick about it for a long time, and that's what I loved about it. But then there was a huge controversy.
Yeah.
So I got in trouble at some point. Before. So basically, I was just like off for 3 days.
Yeah.
Because I got in trouble and like they took away, and my parents took away my phone. And basically, what happened there was one of the members that I was good friends with, and that I did role plays a lot with.
Yeah.
Because of me leaving, they kind of snapped a bit because they thought they were at fault for me being just pulled off the internet for 3 days. So they kind of snapped, and they were transitioning into the country human amino because that's where the roleplay still existed. Because about then the roleplay was just dying down more, and the amino was just becoming memes and toxicity. And one of them had a huge beef with. Do you know who Mayor is?
Nope. Like I'm totally unfamiliar. I joined the moment it collapsed, if that makes sense. Because of all those refugees coming in, I was like, okay, let's see if we can solve the problem there. Not that we did not want any new members. That unlike Europe, that kind of stuff. But I just realized, and it like completely collapsed, and I'm like, oh god, like that was my nightmare for like this is the end of every amino. Dude, it was like an absolute nightmare to witness it. And, anyways, you're saying.
But yeah, so they basically started, and everyone was like basically putting pressure on them so much because they were all really toxic against country humans, and they were transitioning to them because roleplay reasons. And so they snapped when I went offline. And basically just spammed country human stuff until they just left because they were just getting harassed a lot.
I see.
And they had this character thing called country flags or whatever. It was basically these like alien creatures but with like flags for heads.
Oh yeah.
It was like kind of. It's not really bad at all. It's not really what you think.
But it
was just a thing for roleplay, and I had that as my profile for the entire time. And basically, whenever I came back to check in, everyone was just basically hating on me because I was a remnant of them, a person that the community there despised at that time.
It's so interesting, and
when I go back, when I go back there and talk about like the death of the amino, they all say, shit, we shouldn't have been so harsh on that guy, on that person. Because they were the carrying force of the roleplay, the whole gimmick of the amino. And so, when all that happened, I wasn't active on there anymore, and I basically transitioned to MPBA. Because I'm not a full refugee, because it wasn't like I was on Meadtown and then wasn't in MPBA and then went there. I was on MPBA for a while. It's just I was mainly active in Memetown, and when that died, now I'm fully active on MPBA.
Yeah, I mean I think a border between a citizen and a refugee is being an immigrant, and I think right now you're a full-fledged citizen of MPBA because our citizenship laws are very, very open, if that makes sense. But it just means that like, you know how, like, it's so interesting because technically, right? I am a refugee from PBA, and there are laws against video posting and other stuff. Like, I was there, but I just saw that the way how that Amino was going, the main pole and ball Amino, I just disagreed with their ideas and stuff like that, and I just left. And I went to MPBA, became a citizen because of my whatever, and I'm here. I'm proud to call myself a citizen of MPBA. I even created a national anthem, which Green did not like because it really represented how old Canada was. But hey, listen, that really, like, it really reflects, Canada reflects the spirit of our Amino. We're very peaceful and all, but when we're at war, we're like deadly ass, like, you'll die. Just like how we nearly eradicated the country human Aminos out of existence, how we nearly built a colonial empire. Dude, we were, and I think if we work hard enough, we still are able to become great again, make MPBA great again. But I'm speaking as if it's a country, and I'm probably gonna get, have like 5 SS squad after my head. So, dude, he's giving me totalitarian vibes, and I won't tolerate any form of totalitarianism. You know what I mean? Like, what? Temporary things, yeah, but the thing is, like, temporary things become permanent, and that's how we fall into dictatorships. The moment when people stop defending their freedoms and liberties, right, is the moment when democracy dies. And I think that's what happened in MPBA. What I was trying to say a bit earlier was that it's so interesting how these Amino communities really reflect how societies grow and then collapse, if that makes sense. And the way how we have treated our loyalty towards a certain form of art, whether that be country humans, whether that be pole and balls or country balls, or whether that be...
I think around 10:30. Alright. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Alright, sorry about that.
Yeah, so yes, it's these kinds of interruptions that plague the entire episode recording for the bloopers, so now you have context. I'm gonna leave that in, actually. Anyways, I'm just gonna conclude my, I guess you can say my final point. What was it? Yeah. So, like, how, like, our loyalty towards one form of art, essentially, whether it be country humans, whether it be country balls or pole and balls, or whether it be some other form of retardation. I mean, I'm calling it retardation because of my loyalty towards the drawings of pole and ball art, right? Like, it acts as religion and just shows how people can get divided so easily, but at the same time, how people can unite easily. And it's really cool. It's a shame that I guess all these communities are on a decline, except for one of them. There's one of them which seems to not have suffered, probably because it's relatively new. And I think it would be the new bastion of the country ball mapping communities in general, right? And it is the one, created by a good friend of mine, one of my first few friends on Amino. Fluffy. Yep, Fluffy. His Amino is called Country Ball Mapping Amino.
Kind of correction about that.
Sure.
I actually went on there and talked to him. I actually convinced him to come back to MPBA.
Yeah, I saw. Because I saw him, like, what you call it.
And basically, he said that when I was on there, that was actually a rare moment of activity. And I basically dug into the Amino, and it's honestly not much of mapping. It's more so, like country I said balls. Before, it's more so, country balls, and also, when it comes to culture, bad analogy, they're more Tumblr-like
Oh,
culture,
yeah.
And we are more 4chan.
4chan culture. Well, it's a shame, but what it means is that I guess I only felt that. It just shows my relative expectations, to be fair with you. Like, I didn't like the community of Fluffy's Amino, but I think it's a very interesting case study in general, in my honest and humble opinion. That's why I've asked him to come on the podcast. Whether he's comfortable or not, we'll see. And I also intend to ask Fife to come over to the podcast and explain how things are going, and stuff like that. And that kind of wraps it up for now. Is there anything you would like to plug in?
Yeah.
Anything you would like to plug in?
Oh wait, you're
Sealand?
ending it right now?
Yeah, I mean, the thing...
have to go?
No. I mean, it's going to be an hour. And the thing is, like, I'm not sure if people want to hear 2 hours. And if there are two...
well, you did around that time with the MPBA podcast, so...
No, that was because it was first time, and it was for, like, school work, project work. Very weird. We can go ahead, actually. The thing is, I'm not sure...
I still got a bit more to say.
Okay, you know what? Say it then. Because I think I got a call from somebody else. Not for the podcast, just like real life stuff. I declined it because, of course, recording the podcast is more important, you know. So yeah, go ahead, say what you would like to say. Actually, I thought you were done. My bad.
I'll try and be quick.
Alright.
But when it comes to like when it came to Amino, I never really had any friends. Like before, like now, like this year. I've never really had any friends. I've had, like, when it came to Amino, I only had, like, 2 friends.
Yeah.
But now, surprisingly, I've actually started making a lot more friends when it comes to being in Amino.
Yeah.
I'd say me and Fife are friends because I kind of... I basically annoyed him into having us play Hoi 4.
Yeah.
And we just kind of talk and... Like, he wants to... play Hoi 4 with me quite a bit, but can't really because my laptop is shit and GeForce Now is awful. And then Jan Cope, I kind of forget how we met.
Yeah.
But I think it was just like in general we were. I think it was the attempt of remaking the MPBA podcast. Where we basically
Jan told me about that. Yeah.
Man, that failed horribly because I had, like, no motivation, and we didn't really have the right people for it because we didn't have, like, somebody who had the right, like, editing and recording software ready on the go.
Okay, so I guess I kind of, like... Well, I think I was the one who started the entire idea. And the thing is, like, the reason why I haven't continued that first podcast, like, that first episode... There's only one reason, and the reason is because I had declined, and I was no longer an integral part of the Amino, even in its functionary. So it was invalid for me to do that, and it felt ethically wrong. So that's why I created this podcast, because it just creates a more open platform for me to discuss really anything I want. Like, I think I'm gonna bring back the individual episodes in which I just talk about random things, and stuff like that, because, you know, I want to, like, I want to, like, practice my own, like, solo speaking skills and see what works, what doesn't work. I know those episodes are going to be less popular, but the thing is that I realized that if I do it twice, like 2 guests per week, right? It's going to be like, hey, we're running out of guests. Let's strain it out a bit. That kind of stuff. So yeah. So I guess this will be the end of the podcast because guess who has to edit this? So, you know, I think 1 hour is good because having it more than that may deter somebody from watching it, or say, oh no, I'll watch it later, but they end up not watching it.
It was honestly my plan to make this the longest damn episode.
Oh, okay. Wait 1 second. Let me see what time you need to beat. Give me a moment. Oh shit, I can't see it. What to do? Okay, now, why did I make the dumb accent, actually? Hold up. Let's make your dream come true, actually. Let's do that.
Ooh.
Well, give me a moment, actually. Let me just check. Good thing I'm using OBS to record the what you call it? The episode?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's check this. This one is about, Okay. You're gonna beat it. Don't worry. 1 hour, 1 minute, and 24 seconds is the time you need to beat. And at the moment we are at 59 minutes. So, want to plug things in? And I know the outro is going to be a bit long, so you're going to make it you're gonna beat it by a few seconds, hopefully. So yeah, you have anything to plug in? Any new projects you're working on? No?
I'm probably gonna start. Actually, I'm probably gonna start a new channel soon because I've got a new wave of motivation from just being on vacation. For like mapping and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about like videos at some point, but I'm definitely gonna be a lot more active when it comes to making stories and shit because I've been praised before for being able to write really long stories about like countries and shit like that.
And I'll be looking forward to reading them. Actually, maybe I'll review it on the podcast. Who knows? Yeah, because content for solo episodes. I need to make it engaging, and that's going to be really hard because you're only hearing one voice the entire time, and that might be demotivating. It's probably going to just be a 30-minute episode. That one, not gonna lie. That kind of stuff.
You could probably to make it more.
Yeah.
To probably make it more in cultivating for people to watch. You could make it a bit more gaming oriented, or like something that's happening on screen you're focusing more on, so that people can be engaged.
True, that'd be true.
Say
though.
I can say instead of like Euro Truck Simulator, you could be doing like a build in Minecraft or something. Like something the people can be engaged in, but that doesn't take their focus away from you.
Yeah. I got you. And dude, you have officially crossed over the time. This is the longest. Yeah. You have done it. I'm going to put it in the description or the comments, but I'm not putting it in the title. But because it'll be so small difference, if somebody's like, "Bro, are you struggling with content or something?" So, anyways, thank you guys for watching this episode of Ghjak on the mic, which I reckon is episode 6. I do not know. I forgot how to count. I told you guys already. All right. Now, so make sure to like the video. Smash the subscribe button. Absolutely destroy it, okay? Hit the bell button.
Yes.
Give feedback. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. You guys don't seem to do that enough. Do it more, okay? Don't be lazy, guys. You have fingers. You have a keyboard. Type.
If you don't like and subscribe, then hit the bell icon. I will get your IP address and I will blackmail you.
Yeah, you got the warning. Guys, don't forget 5 likes for the bloopers. And consistent content, I'm not gonna lie. You're going to be the most viewed person on the channel. Just because of the amount of bloopers we have. But that decides the point. Good for you. Alright? If you want, guys, next episode, I'll have both Jan Kelp and Sealand together on the same episode, and we can have a discussion, like, 2 curators and one guy who was a curator, was a leader, was an important person.
Episode.
Yeah, episode. Wait, what? Okay, whatever. That's besides the point. All right, then, guys. Thanks for watching. Have absolutely a very, 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 very nice day.